You ready?
About 2 minutes, can you? At the 2025 Calhoun County High School Football Media Day, the Hope Christian Saints. Hope Christian competes in the AISA in the state of Alabama. I'm assuming it's just the state, it may be others. Okay. The head coach of the Saints, Chris Stone. Today, Coach Stone has brought with him senior lineman Terrence Young and junior quarterback Kanan Bozeman. Coach Stone, give us a few of your comments.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Calhoun County and this event for allowing us to come, have a chance up here. We want to be just as much included in Calhoun County as everyone else, although we play in the AISA. So thank you for having us, first and foremost. As he said, joined by Terrence Young and Kanan Bozeman. We're looking forward to the season. We're excited about it and ready to get after it.
I will ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
It's brand new to us. And what has it been like putting together a brand new team? Is that how it's gone? And tell us a little bit of how it started and just to give us a little background in where you guys come from and how we go forward.
Yes, sir. So when Hope Christian Academy started 3 years ago now, this will be the start of our third year. We started with about 30-something kids, mostly elementary. As y'all are well aware, you're not going to have a lot of juniors and seniors transferring out to a brand new Christian school that just pops up in Oxford. So we started out a lot with elementary schools. I am also the athletic director at Hope Christian Academy, so I oversee all of the sports. The first year we had a basketball team, and that was really all we were able to field was a boys varsity basketball team, and that was 6th grade through 12th grade, and I think we had maybe 11 kids, right? Moving into this year, we also had a cross country that first year, and we still do cross country to this day, but moving into this year, we'll be able to field a lot more sports because it's just grown tremendously in the last 3 years. And that's all glory be to God. It's all it boils down to. So we've enjoyed watching the work that he's done. We want to just glorify him in everything that we do. We try and teach that first and foremost. With any student that comes to Hope Christian Academy, we want them to understand who they are in Christ Jesus. That is our foremost goal. Now, we can develop them physically for athletics. We're also, we can get their academics. We got the academics at Hope Christian. We got accreditation through ACSI, was Alabama Christian Schools International. But it's been a journey. It really has, and it's been awesome to be on that ride. Starting out that first year, we just, like I said, we were just having a couple kids, and then it just started to grow, and it ended that year with 50-something. Ended up ending this past year with 100 plus, and now here we are pushing 200. And it's just, families reaching out to us, wanting a different avenue of education for their students, and we've just been blessed to be here. Me personally, when I first started AD, football was a 5-year plan for me. Y'all know just as well as I do how hard it is to field a football team, and most of the kids we were getting were elementary kids. So as it came, we added sports on. I think the second year we had a boys varsity and a boys JV. We were able to do a baseball team, boys varsity and boys JV. We didn't have any girls sports. This will be besides volleyball. We had volleyball first year. Now we got a varsity volleyball and a JV volleyball. And then now going in this year, we'll have a softball. We'll have a varsity basketball for girls. Pretty much every sport that any other public school will offer, we're going to be able to offer this year. So it's been a journey. It's been a ride, but we've enjoyed the sights all the way. We love to see what God is doing day in and day out at Hope Christian.
Back in the back.
Got a question here, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about how many games are on your schedule. I know it must be hard to schedule teams when you're a brand new team, but how many games you have scheduled? Who are some of your opponents that maybe we've heard of in the past? And do you have several that are home and several that are away?
Yes, sir. So with our schedule, honestly, they make it quite easy on me because AISA actually does the master schedule for all of the football. That's from 8-man. We play in a AA, and then you got a AAA. Now that's all based off enrollment, grades 9 through 12 of your boys the year previous is what that boils down to. So we play. We open up on August 22nd at home. That's right over there on Airport Road against Valiant Cross. Valiant Cross is coming up from Montgomery. We played them in times past in, I believe, basketball and maybe some other sports as well. But we have them at home. We open the season with the first 4 games at home. So I know I like that having those first 4 games at home. Now that means the last 3 games of the season we're traveling. Now in the AISA, you do travel quite a bit. I know our last game of the season, and that's the week before Halloween, that Friday before Halloween, we are going to Eufaula. So we're talking about a 3.5 hour trip. But it's we have a pretty good schedule. They make it easy on our behalf, at least in my experience so far. And like I said, I don't really have too much experience because it's our first year playing football, right? So, but it hasn't been too tough. I like the fact that we're opening up with those 3 or 4 home games to open the season. I think that's going to be a determining factor. Having that home field advantage to come out there, and we're going to play some tough teams. Valiant Cross, they got some good players. Chambers Academy, I believe, is the 2-time defending state champions in the AISA, I think 2 or 3A. So, it's going to be some tough teams, and we play them week 2 at home. So we're looking forward to it.
How many guys do you have on your varsity roster?
So on my varsity roster right now, I have 26 guys. Now that's 26, 7th through 12th grade. Yes, sir.
Tell us about the 2 young men that you brought with you today.
So we have our senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman, Terrence Young. Great leader up front for our big guys. He's done great helping teach some of these guys. He also has knowledge of ball because he's played ball before. And that's kind of a curve that we're having to navigate right now because we do have some kids that haven't necessarily played ball before. You got to think about it. Out of that 26, 5 of them are 7th and 8th graders. You know what I mean? So then we have Kanan Bozeman. He is he'll be our starting quarterback going into the season. He's a junior. Great leader. Always brings the energy. He knows ball just like Terrence does. He's always helping to coach his teammates up. In those small little details. He's helping them to understand how to finish and things of that nature. So two very good leaders that I brought here with me today.
Back in the back.
So a lot of key words that we've heard today is tradition and building tradition. And we know that you've had great success on the basketball side already as a new school, but how do you transfer that winning and the winning tradition to the football side of your program?
That's a good question. So I think what it boils down to is the atmosphere in the community, the standard that's set starting in the classroom when they walk in the halls at 7:10 in the morning. Before we go to devotion every day at 7:30, it all starts there. All the way from the top of administration, all the way down to your PE teacher, all the way down to your elementary students. It's a family, it's a community, and what we do is, and you got to think about it, most of these kids, they play almost all of the sports there. I mean, we're just that small of a school. They play multiple sports, so they understand what that standard is. So now we just translate it over to a football field.
Back in the back.
All right, this question is for really the players, but Coach, you can answer it too. As players, with this being, a new thing for y'all school, what are y'all looking forward to the most? Like, is it the fans? Is it playing with your friends, your teammates? Or what would you say you guys are looking forward to the most being your first season?
What our coaches have been stressing to us the most, which I think is probably the coolest thing, is that we're the first ever program. It was the first ever program for baseball last year. It's the first ever program for football. So our job is, of course, we want to go out there and win football games, but our goal is to set the foundation. So our successes this year, and if we accomplish our goal of bringing kids to Christ, glorifying God in everything that we do, if we go out there and we accomplish that, then we're setting a great foundation for the next 100 years of the school to come.
Like Kanan said, it's setting a foundation.
I got a question for you players. We talked about expectations and what you guys have been through, or in this early season. What are you guys looking for the most? Are you looking to bring other players into this program, or are you just looking to develop and do have the best season you can have?
Well, I mean, there's new kids coming every single day. I mean, even just this week in football, we've had like 5 or 6 new kids show up. So there's constantly new kids coming in, but we understand that we're small, and all we do is we're focusing on developing them with what we got and trying to become the best we can with what we have.
You want to add to that, Terry? What's your expectations this year for this football team?
To just be go out there and give it all we got and glorify the Lord.
Yeah, because they'll probably remember you guys down the road.
Hopefully for the right reason.
Back here on that.
Yeah, Chris, just tell us about some of the players that we don't know now that might be household names, mid-season, and where they fit in, where they came from, and kind of give us a sense of who's going to be the guys that we're going to know more about later on the season.
Absolutely. So you have, let's see where I want to start at. So you got some Nick Morrow. He'll be our starting running back. He'll also play some slot receiver for us. I mean, honestly, he's probably a utility player. Ain't no telling where he'll play at. We'll have him in multiple positions. He's one to look for. Caden Monterello, our left tackle, has come in. He's going to be a big addition, and he's a great leader, especially just as a sophomore. He has been, to be as young as he is, to realize and coaching him, see how mature he is at that age, and the way that he relates to his fellow linemen beside him, and the way that he can teach them in between the coaches teaching has been amazing. So those are a couple names to look for in moving forward in this season.
I've got one that may not be that much of a football, but how do you guys come up with the jerseys you're wearing, the color schemes? Does all that come before you guys even started the program, or has that been voted on by people, teams, players? Tell me a little bit about it, because we don't know.
Yeah, so when it comes to the colors, this was done in the making years before, and basically what the purple and the gold represent is honor and man, can't think of the other one. Anyways, it was meant to be all of it's meant to be glorified to God. That's what it was. And like I said, we worked together. We work with BSN, so we've gotten together. We actually were fortunate enough. We thought we were going to have a football program last year. Going into last year, turned out ended up having maybe like 9 kids. So we were contemplating doing 8-man football. That ended up falling through, so we were able to get most of the equipment that we needed early. So it was a little bit less stressful as far as financially, trying to field a team this year. Now we have had to order additional uniforms and stuff like that, but this base set of uniforms was already bought a year ago in advance, preparing the way for this upcoming season that's coming now.
Your home field,
Yes, sir.
you got one ready for you?
For the home field.
Yeah.
It's the old Barber Dairy off of Airport
Yes,
Road,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. It is. Yeah, we were able to. We were
Close to
able.
Fab Art Steel, if you know where that's
So
at.
I've seen a lot of work going on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for Canaan. If you had to say today, who's going to be the first person to score a touchdown in the history of Hope School? Who would you say that would be?
Since we even talked about having a football team, it's been an argument between Nick back there and me. So we butt heads back and forth, and both of us say that it's going to happen on the opening kickoff return of the game, hopefully.
So if you're on the 2-yard line and you're supposed to hand it off to him, are you going to pull it back and run it in behind him?
That's definitely a possibility.
It'd be nice to score that first touchdown. Coach Stone,
Yes, sir.
is the excitement you have going into this season more than any other coach we've had out of the previous 13 coaches we've had here today? Because you're going into, as they say, uncharted waters, brand new. Every game situation is going to be a first-time game situation. What scares you the most knowing all that?
Well, I can tell you this much. I am absolutely thrilled. I am through the roof with the potential that this team has and what we can accomplish out there on that field here in the 3.5 weeks. I'll be honest with you, regardless of what those fears are, whatever those game time decisions are, those calls that we make, we're going to pray before the game that God see us through those, and we'll make those. And will we make mistakes? Probably so. Most coaches have made mistakes, but we'll learn from those. We'll adjust, and we'll go out there and we'll execute. Hopefully, second half of that game. But we are very, very excited.
Tell us something about, what's your staff look like? Do you have some guys that are showing these guys positions and things like that you brought in?
Absolutely. So on the coaching staff right now, and it is a little bit of a smaller coaching staff, but we're a smaller school, and we make do with what we have. I tell the kids all the time, we're all we need. You know what I mean? We keep God in the center of everything, and after that, we're all we need. Okay, doesn't matter who it is. We go out there, we're gonna face whoever the opponent is, and we're gonna go out there and execute and do it to the best of our abilities. So on the coaching staff, you have our head of school, Mr. Nick Burns. He is also our offensive coordinator. So I know y'all know he previously coached wide receivers at Walter Welber. He's come over and he's heading up the school at Hope Christian. He will be the offensive coordinator. We have Coach TJ Thompson. He does our PE at Hope Christian. He would be doing wide receivers and DBs. We have Kevin Ward. He's had stints at Piedmont as well as what's the other school? Spring Garden. He's been coaching for some years. He teaches at Hope Christian, and he's come on and he's got a wealth of knowledge as well. So I lean on him a lot and understanding some things. So he'll be working with. He's really all over the place. So and then we have Coach Sparks has come on. He's gonna do some of our special team stuff. Also working with defensive ends. We also have Coach John Mark. He actually stays over at the fields full time. He maintains, cuts it, and all of that stuff. He also works with the defensive linemen. Myself, I'll be the defensive coordinator as well as working with linebackers and defensive linemen.
Final question
Yes,
here, before we get your closing comments, Coach Terrence. What would you say is Canaan's best attribute that he brings to your team?
Leadership.
Canaan, what would you say that Terrence's best attribute he brings to the team?
He brings, which I mean, he's a great leader for our offensive line because he's the oldest one we got, but he brings a whole lot of energy. So he's constantly jumping on everybody's butt if he sees them walking on the field. He's making sure everybody's hopping around because we know if we're not, we're going to have to go to the line and start running.
Coach Stone, before your closing comments and wrapping up our media day here today, if you had your pick, would you rather the first game be tomorrow or another 3 months from now to prepare for it?
And if I could get 3 more months, I'll take it. Look, I'd like to have that extra preparation, it'll be fine. But I can tell you, I have full confidence in these guys that if we got out there tomorrow, I think they could get out there and execute for sure. But I'll take the 3 months.
Give us your closing comments and something else, anything we need to know about Hope Christian.
Absolutely. So Hope Christian, I want everybody to understand, Hope Christian was built on the foundation of Christ. That is who we are. We don't want to be, just the school over in the corner. You know what I mean? We aren't in direct competition with any public school or anything like that. This is just a different environment that the kids may want to come. Different avenue of education that parents want to take that avenue. We work well with the city of Oxford. We were able to lease that property over there. And it's all of these things have worked together, and it's all glory be to God that it has worked together. You know what I mean? So I want everyone to understand that we are a new school, but we're going to go out there and we're going to give it everything that we got. The standard is the standard, and I set pretty high standards for all of the kids, not even just the kids, the coaches, administration, any of the other coaches that I oversee as the athletic director. We're super excited and pumped about this season. We can't wait for August 22nd. We hope that at some point in time, and if you news outlets or media stations would like to come and cover, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you out.
Very good.
Hope Christian Saints, thank you guys for coming. That will wrap up our Calhoun County 2025 Media Day. And we just want to invite everybody